Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a technology that you probably use dozens, if not hundreds of times a day, and you might not even realize it. We're talking about the hidden engine that powers so much of our digital world, machine learning.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The authors of our source text put it perfectly. Machine learning has become this central but hidden part of our lives. And that word hidden is so important. It works so well that it's almost invisible. So let's spend the next few minutes making the invisible visible.
Okay, so what is this thing that's quietly reshaping our world? You hear the term machine learning thrown around all the time, and it sounds kind of complex, maybe a little intimidating, right? But the core idea, it's actually incredibly simple. Let's break it down. At its heart, this is it. Machine learning is all about creating computer programs that can get better on their own. Think about it like this. You don't teach a toddler what a cat is by giving them a rule book. If it has pointy ears and whiskers, it's a cat. No way. You just show them a bunch of pictures of cats. That's the experience. For an algorithm, that experience is data. And the more data it sees, the better it gets. It learns, it adapts, and it improves all by itself. That might still sound a bit abstract, so let's make it real. Where is all this learning actually happening? Well, the answer is pretty much everywhere. Let's look at a few examples you'll definitely recognize. You know when you finish a great series and boom, the streaming service suggests a new one that's right up your alley. Or you buy something online and suddenly the site is your personal shopper showing you 3 more things you'll love? That's not a lucky guess. That's machine learning. The system is looking at your behavior and the behavior of millions of others to find patterns and predict what you'll probably want next. It's basically a prediction engine for your tastes. Or how about unlocking your phone with your face? I mean, think about that for a second. The system doesn't just have one perfect photo of you. It has to learn the core features of your face, so it can recognize you whether you're smiling, you're in bad lighting, or you just got a terrible haircut. It's learning to find the consistent you inside all of that random change. This one is huge. This is how computers are basically learning to read. An algorithm can scan a whole news article and in seconds automatically highlight the people, the places, and the companies mentioned. It's smart enough to know that when an article says Apple, it's probably talking about the tech giant, not the fruit. This is what makes things like search engines so powerful. And seriously, the list just goes on. That spam filter that keeps your inbox from exploding, that's machine learning. Your smart assistant that somehow understands your mumbled commands, yep, machine learning. It's even used for things like predicting when a jet engine might need maintenance, or making the characters in a video game act realistically. It's everywhere. So, we've seen what it does. But how? What's the secret sauce? What's the fuel for this engine? Well, it all boils down to one single crucial ingredient: data. And this is the fundamental change in thinking. In old-school programming, you'd have to write out explicit rules. But with machine learning, you don't. You just show the system thousands and thousands of examples, data, and it figures out the patterns and makes its own rules. It learns from example, not from instruction. And that data can be, well, just about anything. It could be a list of numbers, like your health stats in a fitness app. It could be a giant grid, like a spreadsheet showing which users rated which movies. It could be super complex, like the millions of pixels that make up a photo, or just a bunch of text, like all the words in an email. The algorithm's job is to take all this raw stuff and find the hidden meaning inside. Okay, so we know that machine learning learns from data. Now, let's get into the kinds of problems it can actually solve. Most of what ML does can be boiled down to a few core types of tasks, and you can think of them as different kinds of questions the machine is learning how to answer. First up, we've got classification. The question here is super simple. Is this A or is it B? It's all about sorting things into different buckets. The most famous example, of course, is your email's spam filter. By looking at thousands of emails you've marked as junk, it learns to look at a new one and decide, is this spam or is this not spam? Which, for some reason, they call ham. Go figure. Next up is regression. And here, the question changes to what's the number? So instead of a category, the goal is to predict a specific value. Think about a weather app telling you tomorrow's high temperature, or a website estimating the sale price of a house. It looks at all the past data and learns how to predict a future number. And a third, really cool one, is novelty detection. The question it's trying to answer is just, Is this weird? It's all about spotting the odd one out. The system learns what's normal by looking at a ton of data, and then its only job is to raise a flag when something doesn't fit the pattern, like a fraudulent credit card charge that looks different from all your other purchases.
So, if we bring it all together, here's the bottom line. Machine learning is the science of turning raw data into useful insight. It's all about building systems that don't just follow orders, but that actually learn, adapt, and get smarter, all fueled by the experiences they have with data.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty big thought to chew on. These powerful systems, they're learning from a world of data that we created. They learn from our choices, our habits, our biases, our words. So, if these machines are learning from us, what are they learning from our flaws? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.